So maybe your diet didn't work. Maybe you're exercising, but that's not really going too well either. I looked at everything that I personally did when I started to burn some fat, and I simplified it to 3 different things, which I think actually might help you to actually burn that fat that you've been wanting to burn. First, I do need to say that most of the information that you do see online, it's misleading. I wouldn't necessarily say it's false. It's just very misleading because not only are they doing it for likes and clicks, but they're trying to sell like some sort of pill or supplement. The only thing I wanted to do is just share my own personal experience on how I was able to cut down some fat and get to looking something like this. So this video was made for anybody looking to pursue a fat loss journey. And I use that word pursue, and I didn't say start, because you wanting to lose fat means you already started. You going to lose the fat, meaning you're pursuing your want. You already started your weight loss journey or your fat loss journey. You have already started. So go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back for that. So my first step that I personally would do, obviously watch your calories. That's the first thing that anybody's going to recommend. But don't watch your calories to the point where you're checking, MyFitnessPal, and you're inserting literally every single bite of food that you eat. Just eyeball it. Get into an idea. Spend one day where you actually track what you eat. See how full you necessarily feel. And try to keep that feeling at a consistent basis throughout all the days that you're in a caloric deficit. So I'm going to put in a link down below where you can actually insert your weight, your height, and your age. And you can actually see what type of calories you need to be eating per day, proteins, fats, carbs, things like that, for you to actually lose weight, but also start burning fat. In that height factor, if you are 5'11", put 5'11", and if you are 6 foot, put 6 foot. Don't try to cheat the system, because I know how 5'11" people be. Anyway, for the calorie deficit, it's easier to eat nothing than have smaller meals. That goes into my second point, right? You're gonna try to not eat food for the first 3 to 5 hours of the day. The more, I guess, scientific term is intermittent fasting. What this means is you're pretty much creating a window in which you're allowed to eat and not allowed to eat. What I want to kind of do is put you more on an 8-hour window, which means don't eat for the first 3 to 5 hours of the day, and don't eat 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. You want your body processing food while you're awake, not while you're sleeping. If you are a person who needs something in the morning and needs something to get it going, just whey protein with water. If you aren't, try to not take anything at all. Especially if you really do need to eat something, try to not intake any carbs in the morning. Obviously, intermittent fasting is known to help your insulin sensitivity and also lower blood sugar levels. But what it mostly does, it improves your metabolism because it increases that metabolic rate, right? So you're actually hungry when you eat. So like for me personally, I would wake up around 5 o'clock in the morning, and I wouldn't eat my first meal until 9, and then I would have my last meal, since I go to sleep around 7, 8. I wouldn't have my last meal until 4, 5. So that's personally how I eat, and what I've noticed is actually helping me burn my fat, because I have I would say about an 8-hour window. If I want to go on more of an extreme cut, I would cut it down to a 6-hour window in which I eat all my calories. I would eat my first meal, same thing, around 9, but I'll eat my last meal around 3. Something else I do want to include in there is make sure your carb intake, you try to keep within 1 to 2 hours of you working out. So 1 to 2 hours before you work out, try to eat most of your carbs. Make sure they're complex carbs. I'm not talking about like sugars and bullshit like that. I'm talking about complex carbs. Try to eat them within your 1 to 2 hour working out window. You want to burn those carbs while you're working out, and then after, if your body can refuel off of carbs after you work out, which is why you want to do that. But if you eat carbs later in the day, your body is not going to use that as energy. You're just going to sleep. Rather, it's just going to store it as fat or whatever it may be. It's most of the time when carbs are stored, it's stored as fat. When sugar is stored, it's stored as fat. When fats are stored, it's stored as fat, right? Because your body needs something to run off of as your main energy source. My third step though is exercise consistently. I know it sounds crazy. Wow, it's telling me to exercise. Yes, if you are just starting, go 2 times a week. Go to the gym 2 times a week. Have 1 upper body day and 1 lower body day. If you feel like you haven't gone to the gym, maybe because you're scared, or you're scared that people are gonna judge you, or maybe you don't know how to do it, or you're not even sure what to do. Soon I'm gonna have a Patreon down in the link. It's gonna be down below. I'm gonna have a Patreon. It does cost $1, but because unfortunately I couldn't make it free. But if you do have just $1 sitting around, I would recommend you join. I take you through everything. We have like accountability partners and things like that. So check it out if you want to. But more importantly, when you do start working out more consistently, your body will need more water if you start becoming more active. Which, actually, I do have a challenge for you. My challenge would be for the next week, drink 7 to 9 cups of water per day, and actually log how you felt throughout the day. So put in there, maybe, I had more energy. Maybe I was able to, focus up more. Maybe I was, whatever it may be. Write it down, look at what you did throughout the week, and you can genuinely see the benefits of drinking more water. I know that, getting rid of fat loss, like getting rid of fat, is a interesting process as a whole. But what most people don't realize is literally within 12 weeks, their body, and I'm not exaggerating, could be 10 times better within 12 weeks if they just followed literally what I said throughout this whole video. It's simple, it's easy, you don't have to overdo it. Your body could look 10 times better, and I'm not even over exaggerating.